You hear a dermatologist talking to a patient called Mr. Harris. Listen to the conversation and complete the following notes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harris. I see you've been referred for some issues related to your skin. Could you tell me more about what's been going on?
Yes, doctor. Over the past few months, I've been experiencing these persistent, itchy patches on both my elbows and knees. They seem to appear out of nowhere and have gradually gotten worse. These areas not only itch, but sometimes become so irritated that the skin feels raw. I've noticed that the condition tends to flare up significantly during the winter months, possibly due to the cold weather or dry air. And during these flare-ups, the patches can become quite painful, almost like a burning sensation. It's really uncomfortable and is starting to affect my daily activities. Actually, doctor, I've noticed that my fingernails have become quite fragile over time. They seem to break or split much more easily than they used to. And I've even observed some pitting or discomforting or skin in a few of them. In addition to the nail issues, I've also been dealing with a lot of stiffness in my joints, especially when I wake up in the morning. It's almost like my joints are locked up, and it takes a while for me to get moving comfortably. This stiffness is most noticeable in my fingers and knees, and it's been happening consistently for the past few weeks. It's making my mornings quite challenging.
That sounds like it could be psoriasis. Have you tried any treatments for these symptoms?
I've tried managing the symptoms on my own by using various over-the-counter creams. These are the kinds you can easily pick up at the pharmacy without a prescription. While they do help a bit, the relief they provide is always short-lived. The itching irritation might subside for a few hours, but the patches come back just as bad, if not worse, soon after. This cycle has been really frustrating because I can never seem to find lasting relief. On top of that, I'm starting to get quite worried because my father had similar skin issues when he was around my age. His condition eventually progressed to something much more serious. He was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, which affected not only his skin, but also his joints. Knowing that I might be at risk for the same thing is really concerning to me. I'm worried that what I'm experiencing now could be the early signs of something more severe, and I want to make sure I'm addressing it before it gets worse.
I see. Given your family history and current symptoms, I recommend we start with a topical steroid and consider a referral to a rheumatologist for further evaluation. Also, have you been experiencing any unusual stress lately? Stress can often trigger flare-ups in conditions like psoriasis.
Yes, doctor, my job has been incredibly demanding and stressful lately. I've been dealing with a heavy workload, tight deadlines, and a lot of pressure to meet expectations. It feels like there's always something urgent that needs my attention, and I rarely get a moment to relax or catch my breath. This constant stress is really taking a toll on me, both mentally and physically. I can't help but think that it's contributing to my skin problems and possibly making them worse. I've noticed that whenever I'm particularly stressed, the flare-ups seem to get more intense, almost as if my body is reacting to the pressure I'm under. It's frustrating. So I can't seem to get the rest of us under control, and I'm worried that it's only going to keep aggravating my condition.
Managing stress is absolutely essential for your overall treatment plan. Stress can significantly worsen your condition, so keeping it under control is one of the key factors in helping you feel better and preventing further flare-ups. We need to address the root cause of the stress you're experiencing, whether it's related to your work, personal life, or anything else that's weighing on you. Along with stress management, I'll recommend some lifestyle changes that could also make a big difference. This might include adjustments to your diet, incorporating regular exercise, or practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation. All of these changes can help reduce your stress levels and improve your overall well-being.
You hear a conversation between a cardiologist and patient called Mrs. Thompson discussing her ECG report. You now have 30 seconds to look at the notes. Mrs. Thompson, I've had a close look at your recent ECG results, and they indicate that you have a mild arrhythmia, which means your heart isn't beating in a perfectly regular rhythm. While this isn't necessarily a cause for immediate concern, it's something we need to keep an eye on to ensure it doesn't develop into something more serious. Given this finding, I'd like to know more about how you've been feeling lately. Have you noticed any unusual symptoms, such as palpitations, dizziness, shortness of breath, or even just feeling more fatigued than usual? Understanding how you're feeling will help us determine the best course of action moving forward.
I have noticed that I've been feeling more fatigued than I normally do, and it's starting to affect my daily activities. For instance, something as simple as climbing a flight of stairs leaves me more winded and tired than it used to. I'm not just a little out of breath. It's like my energy is completely drained, and I need to take a moment to recover. Additionally, I've had these strange moments where my heart suddenly starts racing, even when I'm not doing anything strenuous. It could happen while I'm just sitting down or doing something routine, and I can feel my heart pounding in my chest. It's really unsettling because it seems to come out of nowhere, and I can't predict when it will happen. These episodes don't last long, but they leave me feeling anxious and wondering if something more serious is going on with my heart.
That's consistent with what we see on the ECG. Have you had any episodes of dizziness or shortness of breath?
Yes, I have experienced that occasionally. There have been a few instances where I suddenly felt extremely lightheaded, almost as if I was on the verge of fainting. It's a strange sensation, like the world around me was spinning, and I had to grab onto something for support to steady myself. My vision even became a bit blurry for a moment, and I felt weak, as if I was about to lose consciousness. Thankfully, these episodes didn't last long. They passed within a minute or so, but they left me feeling a bit shaken and concerned. I'm not sure what triggered them, but they've definitely made me more cautious about my activities, especially when I'm standing up or moving around quickly.
It's important to monitor those symptoms closely. Have you been taking your medication as prescribed?
Well, there were a few days last week when I didn't take my medication as prescribed. I was traveling, and with all the changes in my routine, like different time zones and being on the go constantly, I ended up missing a few doses. It wasn't intentional, but it just slipped my mind amidst everything else that was going on. However, as soon as I returned home and settled back into my regular schedule, I made sure to get back on track with my medication. Since then, I've been taking it consistently, just as prescribed, without missing any more doses.
It's crucial to take your medication consistently. Missing doses can worsen your symptoms. I'd also like to adjust your treatment slightly. We'll increase the dosage of your beta blocker and see how you respond.
I'm a bit worried about the potential side effects of the medication, especially considering what happened the last time we increased the dosage. After that adjustment, I started feeling unusually sluggish and lethargic throughout the day. It was like my energy levels just dropped, and even simple tasks felt more difficult than usual. I had trouble staying focused and motivated, and it became harder to get through my normal daily routine. This experience has made me hesitant about making any further changes to the dosage, as I'm concerned that I might end up feeling that way again, or even worse. I want to make sure that any adjustments we make won't negatively impact my overall well-being.
I understand your concerns. We'll monitor your response closely, and if the side effects become too troublesome, we can reassess. In the meantime, I recommend keeping a log of your symptoms and any side effects.
Okay, I'll do that. Is there anything else I should be doing?
It's important that you focus on maintaining a well-balanced and healthy diet as part of your overall treatment plan. Eating a variety of nutrient-rich foods can support your body's functions and help you feel better overall. Make sure to include plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins in your meals. Additionally, I'd recommend cutting back on your caffeine intake. While a cup of coffee or tea might seem harmless, too much caffeine can increase your heart rate and anxiety levels, which could potentially worsen your symptoms. It's best to limit yourself to 1 or 2 cups a day, or consider switching to decaffeinated options. Equally important is ensuring that you're getting enough quality sleep each night. Lack of sleep can have a significant impact on your physical and mental health, making it harder for your body to manage stress and recover. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, and try to establish a regular sleep schedule by going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. These lifestyle changes, eating well, reducing caffeine, and prioritizing sleep, can all play a crucial role in helping to manage your condition more effectively. By taking care of these aspects of your life, you'll be giving your body the best chance to heal and function optimally.